In this video I'm going to be taking you through metal extraction. Now metals are very important things. They have lots and lots of uses and you can see them all over the place, but very few actually occur naturally. The ones that do occur naturally are the ones that are going to be very unreactive, and these are things like gold and platinum. Don't react much at all. And they never react with elements like oxygen, so that's why we find them naturally. Others are going to be more reactive, and these are going to form compounds. And these are going to mainly be inside metal oxides, and these metal oxides are called ores. So an ore is basically a rock that contains enough of a compound to extract the metal from it for profit. So for example, hematite is the ore for iron. And this will contain a lot of iron oxide. In bauxite, you're going to be finding a lot of aluminium. And in malachite, you're going to find copper. Malachite actually has this wonderful green colour from the copper oxide. Now some of these you're going to be able to extract using electrolysis. To know more about electrolysis, watch that video on electrolysis. But for example, aluminium oxide from bauxite, you can put it under electrolysis and get pure aluminium and some oxygen. Now the way the metal is extracted will actually depend on its reactivity. Now on the screen here I've actually listed all the metals, and this is something called the Reactivity Series. Now the most reactive are at the top. These are the hardest to extract. The least reactive are at the bottom, and these are easy to extract. So we can actually find these ones as elements. These ones are more reactive, and these we actually heat with carbon. So you heat the ore with carbon. And finally, these ones are extracted through electrolysis. And it is all to do with their reactivity and what they're going to do. Now electrolysis is the hardest extraction method. It costs quite a bit for this. So these harder ones are a lot more expensive than these ones in the middle. Now you do kind of need to know whereabouts all of these different metals are in the reactivity series and which ones need which method of extraction. Now when we're doing this, when we're trying to extract these metals, we're actually removing that oxygen from them, from that metal oxide. And this has a particular name, this reaction. This is called reduction. So reduction is when you are removing oxygen. You're reducing that metal oxide down to its pure metal form. So, for example, to get pure iron from its ore, you take the iron oxide, heat it with carbon. This iron is dumped by the oxygen because carbon is more reactive. It's more attractive to that oxygen. So the iron ends up by itself and carbon gets with the oxygen. So you get iron plus carbon dioxide. The same sort of thing happens with aluminium. So you take your aluminium oxide, but actually what you're going to do here is you can actually do electrolysis with it. So you're going to do that. You're going to put the electrolyte, that aluminium oxide, with the electrodes, and you're going to produce aluminium plus oxygen. Now these are both different reactions, but they both come under this umbrella of reduction because you are removing oxygen from that metal oxide. Now sometimes you can actually get the opposite reaction. Corrosion is when you have this oxygen reacting with your metal, and in iron this is called rusting. And this happens when the metal joins with the oxygen to produce that metal oxide. And this is an oxidation reaction. So whereas reduction was removing that oxygen from the metal oxide, oxidation is adding oxygen to a metal to produce a metal oxide. Now the more reactive a metal is, the more rapidly it is going to corrode. So if we go back to our reactivity series, those ones at the top are more likely to corrode and produce their oxide. Now aluminium oxide, on the other hand, is actually a very special thing. It has a protective layer. And this is a protective layer of aluminium oxide, Al2O3, and it produces aluminium from corroding. So that is kind of it protecting itself from this reaction happening. There's not really any other examples of metals that you need to know of where this actually happens. Now that was it for really looking at metal extraction. So you need to know the reactivity series plays a part in this, that the more reactive ones need electrolysis, but this is expensive. The medium ones, you heat the ore with carbon, and silver, gold and platinum are actually found as elements. And you need to know that reduction reactions involve taking oxygen away from the metal oxide, and oxidation reactions involve the metal joining with the oxygen to produce a metal oxide, and this is corrosion, or in the case of iron, rusting. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully it's helped you out, and good luck in your exams.